Welcome back to Disturbing the Priest. I'm your host, Brandon Battick, and we are here with a very fun episode.
Yay.
I'm here in Crysal Ball Records.
Hi.
And I'm joined by Vanessa, my good friend.
Hello.
Past coworker.
Jesus Christ. Personal hater.
We used to work at a record store together for like
oh God, almost 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I worked there for about a year before we hired you, so it was almost 4 years. Yeah.
And now here we are, you know.
How things change.
Now you own a record store.
Yeah, it's still kind of setting in.
Yeah, and it hasn't been that long, really.
It's only been like 8 months, honestly, it's insane to think about how far I've come in the last 8 months.
Yeah, I can't imagine, because I feel like nothing can truly prepare you. Maybe our job kind of did.
Oh, God.
But nothing could truly prepare you for opening a record store, I find, because like there's so many challenges that pop up. Even I remember when we were doing like road trips to pick up records, you know, it was like there were things that would pop up. I'm like, oh my God, I never even thought about that as an issue.
Right?
That would be like when it comes to like owning a record store.
You really have to get creative with the solutions, honestly, a lot of the time. I gained a lot of experience at the other job, and it helps that I was kind of like raised in a small business family, but there are still a lot of things that are completely unpredictable. A lot of it is other people, though. It's kind of like driving. Like you gotta hope other people act predictably.
You gotta crash a few times.
Exactly.
And then you get the hang of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a lot of fun, but I remember when talks started of like, I think I'm gonna fucking do it. I think I'm gonna open a fucking record store.
Finally fucking do it, yeah.
So what do you remember, like that defining moment where you're like, fuck, I'm just gonna do it?
I almost got fired. I was given the week off because I wasn't working hard enough, which like you and everyone else can attest to the fact that no. So that was the moment. I was literally I was like in the car with my partner Dylan. We were in the fucking like breakfast place, like IHOP parking lot on a date. This was like week 1 of dating, and I got an email from our former boss like, hey, I'm giving you this week off because you don't work hard enough. And I was like in hysterics in the car, like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my job. And then I was like, wait, hold on. If I take this opportunity, I can probably just go do my own thing.
You had a Thanos moment.
Exactly.
Like, I'll just do it myself.
And it's funny because when I told him a few weeks later that I was going to do it myself, he was like, oh yeah, I actually had something to tell you, which is we're closing this and moving 2 states away.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, when were you planning on telling me this? Because I told you I was opening a record store first, and then you were like, oh, thank God. So it's like, when were you planning on telling me I wasn't going to have a job anymore?
Yeah.
I joke though. He's chill. We're chill. Like, yeah,
everything's good.
Everything worked out.
He's doing good.
Yeah,
you're doing good, fine.
Yeah,
more
than fine, honestly.
Yeah,
better.
Well, that's good, because I feel like just starting a business alone could be stressful, and then you like, especially since you're selling inventory.
Yeah, like people don't understand that vinyl records are a very different industry from pretty much every other, like even just retail, because like you go to Target and they charge $10 for something that they paid 50 cents for. Records, new vinyl especially, the profit margin's pretty abysmal. No record store owner has money unless they somehow made it extremely big. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's like a lot of debt, and then that slowly turns into...
I am quite literally on par. I did not go to college. My sister is a grad student. We are on par. Like, we're going debt for debt right now.
Yeah. Well, I think it's totally worth it, because the store is fucking awesome.
Thank you.
And everyone is saying amazing things about it.
Yeah.
And you had a pretty big event recently.
Oh my God, yeah.
And we have the banner right behind us.
We got Satanized.
Ghost did a midnight release, and it was hosted right here in Bellingham, Massachusetts. That's why that banner is here, and that's where that shop is, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, we're in Bellingham.
Not Bellingham, Washington. I've gotten a few confused phone calls, by the way, from people who are like, oh, like so-and-so, like directions to your store. I'm like, oh yeah, you just go down like North Main Street. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, like I'm by the Honeydew. They're like, the what? Like, because people don't read. They stop reading at the word Bellingham. they don't notice the MA next to it. They always think I'm in Bellingham, Washington. That's not
because there's only
right.
one Bellingham.
There's
obviously.
only one Bellingham, yeah. Well, Bellingham, Washington is way more well known. I'll give them that.
That is true.
So
than this little town, So, the event happened. I guess you like applied. And
yeah, I have my little flyer.
Did you
that
think
I made.
you would get in?
No, and it's really funny because I applied because it was through the same people that did Record Store Day, and they sent out a mass email like, you can apply to do this, but you have to be like reporting your sales to Street Pulse and doing all these really professional things that my store's not really big enough to do yet. And when they sent me, I actually didn't get the acceptance email first. I texted you. I got a mystery package full of ghost merchandise to my house, not to the store. And I was like, hey, what the fuck? Like, I texted my distributor person, like, hey, did I order these? And she was like, no. And then like 2 days later, I got an email from the Record Store Day people like, you got in. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you couldn't have sent that two days ago. Anyways,
it was such a random thing.
It was so weird. There was no context. There was no no note in there, like no nothing. Like, it was just like a box of ghost merchandise. It's like, thank you.
Yeah, but wasn't it like the box set without anything?
Yeah,
in it?
It was the Ghost 2 of the Impera Wooden Labyrinth vinyl box sets with no vinyls. They were empty.
But there was wasn't there a reason they sent you that?
Yeah, so they were like, one of them is going to be a prize. They didn't say what the contest was. I ended up just going with a costume contest because they didn't give me anything. So they were like, one of them's a prize to give away to people who show up, and the other one is to keep in your store and let people play. And people did play it, but the costumes were so good that I ended up giving away both. Like, I did 2 second place prizes because like it was crazy.
There's some sick ass fucking costumes.
Holy
I saw
shit.
some of the pictures. It's like they're really truly modern day Kiss fans because they go all fucking out. Like, it was just so awesome to see, and I'm really happy. Over like 100 people showed up.
Hold on 1 second, my watch keeps dinging, so I'm just gonna mute this really quick.
But it's so sick. Like, I'm really I'll just fucking edit.
So we had 70 copies of Skeleton, 40 vinyl, split 50-50, the purple and the black. And then we had 15 CDs and 15 cassettes. I was sold out by the end of the night. I did a numbers system because I was like, people are going to start getting here really fucking early. And I need to let people save their place in line because it's a midnight event, but I let people in at 11. It's like, how are we going to keep the line together? So people started lining up at 5 o'clock. The first people in line literally got here at 5 for a midnight event. So I handed them a 1 and then like so on and so forth. And people started showing up really, really late and then getting mad that all 70 numbers were already handed out. Over 100 people showed up, but it's like, if you wanted a place in line, you should have gotten here at 5, man. People drove, I think the people who were the furthest away were from Bangor, Maine, who drove almost 6 hours to be here. And then they told me when we got out at 2 a.m. that they did not have a hotel and had to drive all the way back. And I was like, please drive safely. Good Lord. That is
Get
so
home
far.
At 8 a.m.
Yeah, home at 8 a.m. Worth it, but still.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people tell me, because I don't know if you saw, like, it's on the flyer, but I had like a photo booth and stuff like that and like snacks and shit. And I had a couple people tell me like, oh yeah, because I was one of 2 stores in Massachusetts and there were none in Rhode Island. I'm right on the border. But there are people who came from all over New England because they were like, my local store is doing it, but it sounds kind of boring. Like, you have a lot of stuff going on and yours sounded more fun. So we came here and we're glad we did because it was fun.
Yeah, and it was such an awesome time. Like, just looking at the pictures, I wish I could have.
I wish you were there. I think there were enough people, but like, I wish you could have come because the thing is, I'm working with, including the office and bathroom, I'm working with 700 square feet. So I think there were 50 people in here crammed like sardines and 50 people outside. And I, thank God, anticipated this, so I set up speakers to also play the album outside because I knew people were gonna have to stand out there. I wasn't expecting that many, but I was like, I gotta have like a contingency plan if not everyone can stand inside my store.
Yeah, were people like talking during it playing? I went fucking crazy.
People were yapping, and I had like a little PA and a microphone, but I learned later on that even though I had the volume turned all the way up, people still could not hear me in the back and outside. But I did say like, please, like, this is a silent, like, this is a listening experience. Please don't yap. And people were still yapping,
just partying it up.
People partied hard. I didn't expect anyone to eat the snacks. I didn't expect anyone to use the photo booth or play the labyrinth game because I know people can be pretty shy in like new environments. But by the time we left, all 6 bottles of sparkling cider were empty. Like, there was no snacks left because I did cute snacks. So I got these things. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's called like reason, something like that. But I made a sign that said he is, and then I put the label on it so it said he is risen. And then I did Body and Blood, which was cupcakes and grape juice.
That's awesome.
And then I did popcorn, which was popcorn. But all of it was gone. And I'm really excited because the photo booth, it was just a rental, but I get digital copies of every picture that was taken on that photo booth. And people were doing it even during the album, like playing all night long. So I'm really excited because in addition to hiring a photographer for this event, I do have all of those pictures coming, and I am going to post them because people dressed to the fucking nines. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was so awesome to see, and people were really like hammered at this. Like, I bet people were waking up like on the street being like, wait, like Ghost dropped an album? What happened?
The thing is, I had no alcohol here, but directly next door to me is a bar. And because I had the number system, people were like, can I go get a few drinks at Liz's and come back? And I was like, yeah, as long as you're back by midnight, because we're going to start calling numbers at midnight. People did get appropriately like square hammered, honestly. Like
the bar was like, is there like a satanic ritual going on down the street?
So many pictures that were taken inside the bar. It's like, you guys look ridiculous. But
like just pop-up Meredith's just like at the bar with
like
a drink.
Genuinely the coolest part of the event was the fact that they follow me now. I got sponsored by Live Nation.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, they follow you?
They follow me now. Hi, Live Nation New England. I know you follow me now, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They emailed me the day before the event where they were like, we're sending you 2 Ghost tickets to give away as the grand prize. And I was like, I feel like most people coming to this are already gonna have tickets to Ghost, but I was really pleasantly surprised. The guy who won the costume contest, he wanted to be called Archbishop Chibata. He spent 40 hours bedazzling his like satanic pope costume, so obviously he won the costume contest.
That's awesome.
And when I was like, come here, because they're digital tickets, so I'm going to transfer them to you. I wish they gave me physicals, but still, no one does that anymore. But when we were yapping, he was like, oh, I already have tickets to see Ghost, but my nephew's been really going through it, so I'm going to give these to him instead. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I was so ecstatic when Live Nation was like, we're giving you 2 tickets to give away. But in my brain, I was like, I don't want them to get resold. Like,
yeah,
because that would be kind of shitty. But so like, I'm really glad that the person who won did win, and they're donating them to a family member who could really use them. Like, that sounds awesome.
I was expecting something like that to happen because
Same.
they're already seeing the fucking show.
Oh,
if they're
God.
coming to the midnight release,
then they're seeing the fucking
in costume.
Show. Yeah,
you know, so it's really Live Nation being like, here, you can give them some extra money.
Exactly.
You know?
But we did have 2 second place winners, like I mentioned before. There was someone who did Pop of 5, but as like a gothic Lolita, like a dress with a halo, like really, really pretty. And then there was someone who did like, I kind of described it as like gender bend Cardinal Copia. Like Cardinal Copia, if he slayed, she made like a red dress that like looked like his fit, and she like handmade this dress. It was like 1950s style. It was beautiful. And then 3rd place was someone who also did Pop of 5, but they made like his like ruffly shirt and shit like that. It was so fucking like so choice. People literally like, I was kind of nervous. I was like, am I going to be the only person dressed up for this? I should have known better, but people really went all out for the costume contest.
It's literally like Kiss.
It is. It is exactly like Kiss.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I'd love to get into like the initial reaction because you played it, and there must have been people like just like maybe not talking, but like trying to get the noise out and like listening to the record.
People were locked in and people were yapping at the same time. Like,
yeah, so what was like the initial reaction of people?
Oh, the initial reaction was like, you know, pretty like everyone's really excited. And we all knew Satanized and Lacrima and Peace Fields already. So everyone was singing along, which was really cool. Don't get me wrong, I love the last track. It's giving the same sort of vibe as Life Eternal did, like as the last song, like kind of slow, kind of sad. But when I announced into the microphone, like, that's it, that's the album, what do you guys think? People started looking at each other like that was it. Like, it's over. And I felt really bad. I was like, I kind of half expected something like that to happen because it is a really short album, actually. But like, people didn't expect it to just be over like that.
Yeah, honestly, and let's just fucking get into this record.
Oh God.
So yeah, no, me and Vanessa, we've been friends for a while. We've talked about Ghost for a long time. I'm more of an Opus fan.
Yeah.
I like the earlier shit. I think Melior is the best thing they ever did. Impera was in my opinion, their Black album. Their Metallica Black album, the most commercial, the biggest, very consistent in its songwriting.
Hard to top.
Yeah. Kind of writes yourself into a corner, And so Ghost has been something we talk about a lot. And I remember when we were working together when Para came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I was a little like, it's not really Ghost's best album, but I there's a few tracks I like. And you're like, it's their best album. It's fucking peak. It's awesome.
Like this rips. Like,
yeah. I'm like, it's not, but it's a great, like, I do love it. And over time, I feel like it has held up, even though like, I'm not crazy about 20s and like, Griftwood.
I fucking love 20s. 20s
I know you
is
do.
so peak.
I know.
Like, it's so goofy. I can't. The trumpets. Like, I
know.
Fucking song.
I can't imagine being at that live when they did the live show.
I fucking wish. Like, congratulations to everyone who saw them do 20s live at the Kia Forum. Fuck you. It should have been me. No one appreciates that song like I do. If there are no fans of 20s, I'm dead. Like.
What I don't get about is we're swimming in a sea of pennies. Wouldn't that mean that's not a lot of money? Because pennies is...
Well, yeah, I mean... Plus, like, is it like a Scrooge McDuck situation? Like, do we just ignore the laws of physics? Can you swim in pennies?
I don't think you can,
I don't think you can.
I think, Papa can, maybe.
Yeah.
He can go past the laws of physics.
Thank God.
But, so, yeah, we've been pretty big Ghost fans. I got into Ghost when they released Prequel, like right when they released it, because at Newbury Comics I saw a new album. I'm like, I'll check out fucking Ghost, because I was like, I've been meaning to check them out. I had a lot of metal friends who were into them already, so I was like, fuck it, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking awesome, and so I was into it for a while, and then so I was really anticipating this record because for me it's like, okay. Like, it's cool to see a band I like this much go through this, where they put out their first kind of like really underground record that's like really gritty.
Yeah.
And then like to see them put out their Black album where it's like giant.
You got to watch your child grow
massive.
up, basically. Like,
exactly. It's like, okay, where do you go from here?
Yeah. And like, regrettably, I got into Ghost when everyone else my age did, which was when Mariana Cross kind of blew up. But the problem is my friends had been telling me to listen to them since Prequel came out. They were like, you're going to fucking love this. And I was like, I'll do it later. And kind of regret that a lot. So unfortunately, I kind of got into it when they were already huge. And I kind of like, once I got into them, I got like in the trenches of like Ghost autism. Like, they're everything to me. I was obsessed. I listened to everything like front to back always. And it was when they released Satanized. I remember I stayed up until midnight. I think you did too, to watch the live stream. We were texting each other like, holy fucking shit. It sounds like Opus and Impera had a baby. Like, this is the coolest thing ever.
This sound is exactly what I wanted.
Really hope the rest of the album sounds like this. Really hope it's not a Phantomime situation where Jesus, He Knows Me is incredible and then they release the rest of it. And
let me just say, because I know this is going to get very Ghost heavy, this conversation, and I know I have a lot of listeners who, because I interview a lot of like underground British new wave stuff and a lot of like thrash, so like I do have a lot of that listener base that's very anti-Ghost, and I totally understand that music's not for everyone, because it's like it has that pop element. So if you don't fuck with it, I get it.
I get that, like, they've definitely leaned into the meme of like goofy Scooby-Doo chase music, like
especially in this album we're going to talk about.
Oh, God.
And I have an issue with that.
Yep.
But if you're a fan of Kiss, shut up.
Shut up. You're no better than us.
Like, once, I'll like the song Lick It Up is more meme and more cringe than anything Ghost ever did. And listen, I'm a huge fucking Kiss fan, man. Like, I have like their first 6 first presses on vinyl.
Nice.
I love their shit. I've seen them 3 times. Like, fucking come on. Just because if you were a kid when this band, when Ghost was started, like you would be fucking, like, wearing the Papa fucking makeup and shit.
It's like you can't get mad at us. We're literally cousins. Like it's the same thing. It's just exactly. New. Like
it's so funny because I think if the bands were reversed, where Kiss started today and Ghost started back then, it'd be even worse.
Oh God, people would be like killing each other.
People would be like, "Oh, this Kiss band is fucking like."
They're ripping off Ghost.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny to see, but yeah, and it's not for everyone. Ghost isn't for everyone. If you're just into fucking, hardcore riffs, shredding, I get it. But I do fuck with Ghost. I love the songwriting. Impera was a little too stadium for me at times.
That's fair.
Griftwood. Here's how I'm going to get into the new album. All right. For me, I just want to say I was really wanting to go into the open. I was skeptical right when it got announced, and I saw the cover art. I'm like, that's cool, but I'm not sure what the fuck they're going to do.
What they're going for.
And Satanized heard, we were texting, the new Papa got announced, and like we saw him. I'm like, this is fucking why I'm a fan of this. It's like wrestling.
I do want to talk about the appearance of the new Papa for a second because Tobias started wearing the masks because he didn't think he was rock star material, and now that the new Papa is literally just Tobias, it's so beautiful to see this character development.
Yeah. It's literally like Tobias just with like this little
I love it for him. I love that he's confident enough to do this now, and he was like, even if people hate it, like, I'm still gonna do it, fuck you.
And I think it looks really cool.
It looks so cool. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack your thing.
No.
I love Papa 5.
And I'll go a step further. I'll say it's the coolest looking Papa.
He's my Shayla. Like, I love him so much. He's so beautiful. I really love the theories that people are like, oh, he's a big like Papa 3 stan, which, like, given the lore that we got in the newest chapter where he's Copia's brother, I think that would be so fucking funny. Because, like, not only did Copia get promoted and actually demoted because his brother is going to take his place now, can you imagine if Perpetua went up to Copia and was like, I actually like Papa 3 more?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, he is, like, pretty much the best.
Because half of the set list for the tour that's happening now is just Meliora.
Is it?
They're playing mostly Meliora right now.
Well, that's
in the
fucking
UK.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
Hopefully, I didn't look at it because I'm like, I don't want to be spoiled, but I think it's it changed. I remember when they started the Imperator, the set list was completely different in the US. But okay, so Satanized we listened to and we're like, this is fucking awesome. I was so into it, like when it started, and then the next song. How do you say it? Lacrima.
I think so.
First time I heard it, I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And then the second time, I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yep.
I love this shit so much. Arguably more than Satanized. It's grown on me more.
It's so good. It grew on me too. I didn't like it at first because I was like, this sounds different. And then I was like, this is actually like, this rips. Like, this is really fucking good.
Totally. The second listen and the music video of him.
Oh my God.
Like, with pointing, I'm
really
like, that's
jarring.
fucking sick.
It is so jarring to see Papa's mouth move realistically because we're so used to seeing like the mask. Like now we just get Tobias. It's so jarring to see his mouth actually move.
But and the amount of motion he puts into his face when he's like singing the verses is so fucking great.
It's kind of scary. Not to be a fangirl, but like Papa. Like, like hello?
Yeah.
Promise?
So Peacefield came out and I didn't like it.
Yep.
And I still don't.
I still don't like it.
And it's because it's crazy because when it came out, I was like went to the Reddit and shit, and I'm like, I'm so curious, and people are saying, oh, like it's their best single. It was so funny because when people were ranking the singles, they were all different.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Impera where it was like, okay, 20's bottom. Maybe not with you, but
no.
And then Hunter's Moon middle, and then it was very like there was definitely a majority.
Can I say something that's going to get me crucified?
What?
I think Hunter's Moon is worse than 20's, and I'm not afraid to say
so
it.
Funny. That's so funny.
But it's really funny. When Peacefields dropped, the day Peacefields dropped, they sent me my promo CD for Skeletor for the party because I'm a record store. I get it early, and I was like, I'm not gonna leak it. I'm not gonna post pictures of it, but I am gonna listen to it.
Okay, so yeah, I think you should tell your side of your first reaction, but before. Did you listen to it like right away when you got the CD?
I listened to it the moment I got home, because I didn't have my CD player here yet. So they shipped it here. It came with all the like party hats and stuff that were super silly and awesome. But I texted everyone and their mother, like, I just got my copy of Skeleton. I'm going to go listen to it. God, you wish you were me. Like, so literally the first thing I did when I got home was me and Dylan sat down in front of my speakers and we put the CD in. And that was the day Peace Fields dropped. I did not hear Peace Fields before I did this.
So you get home, you haven't even listened to Peace Fields yet, which opens the record.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to go into it with an open mind because I was like, all right, if this sounds like Lacrima and Satanized, it's going to fucking rip. And if it doesn't, maybe it'll be fine. Like maybe it'll be okay. And I remember sitting there with Dylan and we just kept looking at each other like, is this it? And I texted you when we were done. I was like, do you want my honest opinion? And you were like, no, I think I'm good without spoilers. And in my brain, I'm like, oh, thank God, because you were about to be so let down. I was gonna literally text you like, it's a loose 4 out of 10. And I feel so bad saying that, especially after I met so many nice people at that party. And I'm so glad I got to host that for you guys. And I was really excited to listen to it with everybody, even though I personally didn't love it. And I saw when they released the album and they made the Instagram post, like it's out on streaming, there was a comment that really resonated with me that was, I think Ghost is breaking up with me. And it's like, oh no, that's the perfect way to put that.
It does kind of feel that way because it's such a fucking sad listen. And it's like every time I listen to it driving here and I'm like, I'm fucking so depressed.
I feel bad not liking it because Tobias is spilling his guts and it's so sad and it makes me feel guilty for thinking it's like mid.
But that's one of my issues with it is it feels less like a Ghost album and more like a Tobias Forge record. Mm. And, I think there's a lot of great lyrics in it. It's lyrically really good besides a couple moments I'll get into. But, with past Ghost records, I always picture Papa singing it. But with this, I think of Tobias.
I think of Tobias.
100%.
I know we were making the jokes about goofy Scooby-Doo chase music earlier, but I genuinely prefer that sound to what we got with this. And I remember texting anyone who would listen because I have a lot of friends who truly do not give a shit about Ghost, and I didn't want to spoil it for anybody. So I remember crashing out in my friends' DMs. Like, I say this as someone who loves like Styx and like REO Speedwagon and stuff like that. I was in my friends' DMs like, I'm genuinely gonna jump off a bridge because it sounds like REO Speedwagon and Journey. It doesn't sound like Ghost. It sounds like fucking REO Speedwagon. Like,
yeah, and I was so fucking excited because when I did on Patreon, quick shameless plug, on Patreon, I listened to the whole album front to back blind with just knowing the 3 singles. And when Peacefield starts, it starts with like that Meliora sound.
Yeah, the choir.
And you think, oh my God, is this going to be like a Meliora Impera mix? Because that's what I was hoping. That's what we were talking about.
Yep.
We're like, oh my God, they're taking that Opus sound and just like using their new songwriting technique with it. Like the songwriting evolution that has gotten to Impera, they're going to take that and then apply it on a more Opus sound.
Because I know a lot of Ghost fans were like, I wish they'd go back to the old sound. And part of me was wondering, like, yes, it's perfectly within the right of an artist to evolve their sound, but I was wondering if Tobias took any of that criticism like to heart with the new record.
Yeah, and as a King Gizzard fan, I am I'm fully in when it comes to a band changing their sound.
Oh, God, yeah.
But I don't know, like, I always loved Ghost for the hooks. They had great hooks, where with this, it's like, it's not really the hooks. It's more of like the really unique songwriting where it's like this really fast, like thrashy, like openy, like da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, whoa, what are they doing here? It's like a Opus. And then it goes into this whole thing, and then the verse comes in and you're waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like thinking of it was going to be like Ashes and Rats where there's like a drop. There was no drop after the choir. I was waiting for the drop and nothing happened.
Yeah, and that's how I felt after Satanized, the song on the record, where it's like a 3-minute track and it kind of just treads water the whole time. And it does kind of have this ending where it gets a little heavy. But I'm like, that's it, like looking, it's like it's like the Temu version of He Is, you know what I mean? Where He Is has such high points, and the dynamics are so awesome, and they're balanced so well, and I feel so bad because I'm seeing all these reviews of like it's a masterpiece, and if you like this record, I'm jealous of you.
I wish I were you. I wish I wasn't as let down as I am right now. And I will say, Dylan's not really a Ghost fan. He really loved Satanized when it came out, and he's seen the Goovy with us. Like, he's enthusiastic that I like them, but he's not really a Ghost fan. But the Goovy. But the thing is, when we were listening to the album and we got to the end, the last song is really good. It's really sad, but I feel like it just kind of fizzles out. And when we were sitting in silence looking at each other after our first listening experience, he was like, that it felt, I don't want to say soulless because that sounds mean, because there's so much emotion in this record, but it feels uninspired. All the songs sound exactly the same.
Yeah, that was a major issue I actually had with it, where it's really hard to talk about this album track by track, because after listening to it, every fucking song bled into each other.
Every song is the same. Like,
it's the polar opposite of Impera. It really is, because with Impera, it's like every single fucking song. Like, I remember I was driving while I listened to that album for the first time at midnight, and like, Watcher in the Sky, and then it goes to, like, every fucking song was like, even though I'm like, yeah, this isn't definitely peak Ghost, and I know what they're doing here, but like, I saw how, like, I could respect that I can remember each song, and it's like what's worse than a bad album is a forgettable record.
Oh God!
And I hate to say that.
I feel bad that I don't have anything in front of me because I can't pronounce any of the songs on this record. I like Satanized and Lacrima. Peace Fields is all right. I like Excelsis. I can't even pronounce it. The last song is really pretty, but when we were listening to it for the first time, and he was just repeating the word excel. I remember I just couldn't take it seriously, and I leaned over to Dylan and I was like, me when the job application asks me what I'm good at, just excel.
Just send them that song. I was really fucking what for me, like, I'm like, my whole thing, I'm like, I just hope there's no like me moments, because I hate that. I hate when we're getting really picky here, but I hate when Tobias starts to get into the meme Ghost culture.
Is that why you don't like 20s?
Too much, and that's kind of why I didn't like 20s. But like, it for me, it wasn't bad enough where I'm like, not canon. Like, it was still. I still like enjoy it, and it's a song that I will listen to occasionally, which is that's pretty good for a song I bash. Like, I think it's silly, but like, when it's on, I don't skip it.
That's why I love it, because it's just ridiculous and over the top.
Yeah. And that riff, the
horns, like, it just scratches an itchy part of my brain, honestly.
Yeah. And I, see that. I totally understand that. But the thing is, with this record, I don't see where other people are coming from.
Me neither.
Where with 20s, when people like it, I'm like, I can see why you like that. But if that were me, I would never fucking release that in my life.
See, I'm not going to lie. While you were on your way over here, between the hours of 4 and 6:30, I just looped Skeleta because I was like, maybe it'll grow on me. Maybe I'll have more nice things to say about it by the time you get here. And genuinely, it's like I'd listen to like Satanized and Lacrima, and then I would zone out until Excelsis. Like, it just all sounds the same.
Yeah, and the lyric that I really fucking hated.
Oh God!
Was when he goes, "That's some hocus pocus shit."
Oh my God!
I was like, "Are you what the fuck?" This band, their first album, they had a song that the chorus was 666, and that was it.
I can't take that song seriously, straight up. That's like the most mid song on that record for me.
What?
Like, just the goofy, like the fucking, like,
what song, like, is that?
Oh my God, why am I forgetting? But it's just like the 666, like, I can't.
On Opus. Opus. Death Newell.
Yes,
I love Death Newell.
I can't take it seriously because, like, I love Ghost so much. We all know this. That's why I'm here. But when they start really getting into, like, this is Satan, like, we're a satanic church, like, I just, like, can you guys be a little more subtle?
That's when I start putting the blood on my face.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. Where it starts with the drum and then the first line is literally Satan on that song.
All right,
too.
I say that
Like,
I do.
I love that. That's the thing why I love that, because they're going full in, you know, and that's what a lot of the appeal is. Like, it's like if you fucking, it's that saying, you know, if you're standing on thin ice, you might as well fucking dance.
Yeah,
You know, and that's what I feel
like
that
that's
record
why I
is.
like Con Clavi Con Dio and like all the like really like concert staple stuff, is because I do feel like I'm like at church in a bad, like not a bad way, but like in a satanic way. Like going to the concerts is a religious experience, and I'm scared that when I go to see Ghost this summer and they start playing songs off of Skeleton, I'm gonna lose the vibe. It might be more fun live, but like I'm gonna lose that vibe.
I'm hoping it changes my opinion on it.
Same.
I think it's definitely their worst record. I think Infestium is so much better, and I feel like that's a lost album.
Yeah,
I
people,
feel like
that's underrated.
Everyone skips over, and like even songs like deep cuts on that, like The Depth of Satan's Eyes, I think are fucking excellent.
Yeah.
And if that came out, I'd love to know in a world where Infestium never came out and that came out after Impera.
Oh my god, people would go ape shit.
Would be so different.
People would go fucking ape shit.
Yeah, especially with what's the surf song
Oh fuck.
on that? It's been a minute.
I'm not gonna lie. That is, I know it's underrated, and I just said it's underrated. That is the
Zombie
Ghost.
Queen.
Thank you. That is the Ghost record I listen to the least. I can't think about Zombie Queen without thinking about Papa 3 and his stupid fucking kazoo. Someone was cosplaying Papa 3 at the Ghost thing, and they brought a kazoo with them, which is like, that's just peak Ghost fandom right there. I love it, but
Yeah, well, they're playing some of that, right?
a little bit.
Like, what's it? Monstrance Clock?
Monstrance Clock, yeah.
Which I'd love to see that live.
I'd love to see that live. I would have loved to be there when they were playing that, and they dragged Papa 3 off stage, and Tobias didn't tell any of the guys in the band he was going to do that, and they chased after him. And they brought out Papa Nil. He's like, the fucking party's over. Like, yeah. You can say that again.
Well, you know, I think Skeleton, it has an amazing cover. I love the name, but I think that's my biggest issue with it. It's forgettable.
All right.
I think I like two songs
I got to talk about the cover, though.
from it. The cover is great.
People
but
thought it was AI generated at first. Did you see
What?
that? Yeah, on Ghost Tumblr, which I am unfortunately a part of, people started freaking out because for a second before the artist like came out and said like, I drew this, people thought it was AI generated because we only got like kind of crusty leaked pictures from the Loma Vista website, and people actually thought it was AI generated.
But the art is so complex and detailed.
That's why.
And with the windows and
It's
stuff.
so intricate that people are unfortunately like, the AI slop is strong online, and people are starting to like lose the ability to tell the difference between just like a really intricate piece of artwork and AI generated. And they had me for a second until I was like, no, this is too like, the design is too intentional. Because that's the thing about AI art, is you can tell it even when it's intricate, it's just unintentional.
Yeah, it really sucks. I know Dream Theater used it.
Oh
on
my
their
fucking
newest record.
god. And not to yap a little bit about Styx, but their tour manager just posted the new set backdrop, and it's AI generated, and
That
I'm genuinely
sucks.
so fucking like, I'm crashing out about it. Genuinely.
That sucks. I hate fucking AI shit.
That's one thing you will never see me do as a business. I know a lot of other small businesses that use generative content like AI art and stuff for their Instagrams. That is one thing you will literally never ever see me use, is generative AI.
I've used AI twice in the podcast, and it's both been for stock images for reels.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to the reel game, especially with podcast clips or like interview clips, a lot of times what the algorithm likes is like, so I went to the bakery, and then there's, you know,
picture
a
of a
video
bakery.
or a picture of someone going to a bakery.
Yeah.
You know, and I had Bobby Liebling of Pentagram on, and it was brought up. It's like, that'd be crazy to see a robot Bobby Liebling. So I'm like, how the fuck am I going to find that stock image?
Yeah, that's fair. But
So
like,
I
if
texted
you're
my
using
friend.
it, like,
I'm like, can you send me this AI? And it's like literally like this steampunk robot with like a twirly mustache.
Oh my
And I'm like, I
God.
would never have found this.
but it's literally like, if you're using AI art in a situation where you have, it's like the Styx stage backdrop, you have a whole fandom of dedicated artists who would kill for an opportunity to do something like that, and you still use generative AI. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Like,
Noah, who's been on the podcast, has been doing a lot of art for Ghost.
Nice.
And a few of his pieces have made it to the merch booth.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah. He's fucking awesome. Noah Minoff, he's on Instagram. Fucking check his shit out. Fucking awesome. He does such amazing art, and I'm glad that Ghost has taken him under their wing.
Yeah,
and,
that's one thing I do love about Ghost is they do appreciate their fan artists a lot, which is why I was so shocked when people were starting to spread rumors that the Skeleton album cover, even though we had a 7 pixels large PNG of it, people were starting to spread rumors that it was AI generated. I didn't really want to believe it at first because I'm glad it wasn't true, but I was like, they would never.
It's I feel like, yeah, it's I would never think that in a million years. And I remember even seeing the kind of pixelated, and I was like, there's no fucking way that would ever be AI generated.
It was just really, I think people were it has a very different feel than all of their other album covers, and I think it was just jarring for a lot of people because that all of their album covers kind of have a similar vibe except for Skeleton.
Yeah. And honestly, Impera even was kind of felt well, I guess even Infestium and stuff, it all kind of relates. But Skeleton was definitely different because it was black and white, pretty much.
Black and white, and then 2 photorealism paintings. And my favorite part of the physical release of Skeleton is at least the editions that came out for the release party. They have a clear sleeve of Papa 5 that you can put over the album cover, so it looks like he's sitting in the throne, which is really cool. But I've seen a lot of people hold it up to their couches and take a picture, so it looks like he's in their living room. It's really goofy.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite song on the new record that's not a single?
That's not Satanized, which is a basic bitch answer. Probably Excelsis, just because it took a second because it is kind of a really underwhelming end to an album. But then I started thinking about again how it kind of reminds me of Life Eternal, that same kind of slow sad ending. And it's a really pretty song, and just the line "I'm afraid of eternity" too, that kind of hits a little different, honestly. Even if the rest of the record sounded like that song, which it kind of does, but not really.
Yeah, I was really anticipating that song because Ghost always have banger closes.
They do.
Even though I don't like Spite Fields, whatever the fuck it's called.
Respite on the Spital Fields. I fucking love that song. Seeing that live, I didn't like it until I saw it live because I lost my shit because I was like, this is so beautiful. Life is so beautiful, and they're going to kill Papa 4's ass so bad later because this was during the Re-Imperator. I didn't appreciate it until I saw it live.
I loved it when I first heard it, but the breath control where he goes, on that
God,
fucking, I hate it.
It's a little goofy, yeah.
And everything else I love about that song, truly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's the worst closer. even comparing it to Genesis, which I love way more, which is crazy. But I don't know, because it's it feels like, you know what a good way to describe this album is? It feels like Ghost started in the late 70s or mid 70s, and we've gotten to the later half of the 80s now.
Yeah, this is their Kilroy Was Here, which is if I'm gonna yap about Styx for a second, that was their most 80s sounding album. It was all slow ballads, and everyone fucking hated it when it came out. People still fucking hate it, and to me, what Kilroy is here to Styx is that is what Skeleton is to Ghost to me.
Yeah,
it is their Kilroy Was Here.
That's so funny because I can totally see that. I haven't even been able to listen
Skeleton
to
is their Mr. Roboto, genuinely.
not
Skeleton, Satanized, sorry.
Satanized is a good song.
Satanized is a good song. Shut the fuck up. I love Mr. Roboto, genuinely. I'm gonna call myself out for a second because the live Lawrence Gowan version of Mr. Roboto was my top song on Spotify.
I saw that and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna keep my comments to myself.
I'm cooked, y'all.
I cannot.
So this is coming from so I guess that means my opinions are a little questionable. Don't take anything I say on this album seriously, because if my top song in 2023 was Mr. Roboto by Styx live, don't fucking listen to a word I have to say about Skeleton.
And
genuinely.
if you're saying, oh, well, the bad reviews don't matter because, I hate that album. I fucking hate Kilroy. So, no, my opinions still stand.
Oh, yeah, no, Kilroy's Here is an awful album, genuinely. But,
and Mr. Roboto, I cannot. I cannot.
I just think it's like 20s. The novelty just grew on me. I swear to fucking God.
20s is a better connection.
Yeah, 20s is their Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I just feel like I remember when the Satanized music video dropped, my hopes were so sky high.
That music video fucking was awesome.
I really don't want to say it was misleading because that sounds so mean, but it was totally misleading.
And again, I really wish I could like see what other people are seeing. It's just for me, like I think there's also like a personal issue with this record where it's just too fucking downer for me. And like I'm a fan of fucking, doom metal, which is like literally doom is in the genre.
Yeah.
And even like the cover looked like a Candlemass album.
It did. That's why it was so jarring too. It was like, this doesn't look like a Ghost album.
Which made me fucking pumped. But you listen to it and there's so much piano and like dark synthwave where I just feel fucking depressed.
It's not even synthwave. Like, as a goth girly, I love that shit.
We're back. Sorry. The camera overheated. We had to literally put it in the freezer. Fucking shit, dude.
I know. Technology. Don't you love it?
All right, so you were talking.
As I am a connoisseur of sad music, because I don't know how much you know about Radiohead. Are you familiar with OK Computer at all?
Yes.
So, OK Computer was like all like heavy riffs, like guitars, really kind of hard rock, honestly. And then they come out with Kid A, which is best described as bleep bloop computer sounds and also really fucking sad. And it's like, this is probably how people who feel this way about Skeleton, this is probably how they felt hearing everything in its right place for the first time, which is the first track on Kid A. Because people make that joke now, like Tom York hates guitars. Like, can't imagine going from OK Computer to like bleep bloop computer sounds and being like, what the fuck is this? A, it's so sad, and B, it sounds completely different. Like, that's probably how these people felt back when that came out.
100%, but I feel like that was like a good sadness.
Oh god,
like,
yeah,
there's a lot of
great
records
album
that are like fucking depressing, but it's like it feels good.
Yeah.
Where this makes me feel like, fuck, I guess like, like this is everything's over.
Yeah, because at least with Kid A, they were like, we want the vibe to be you're in a cold, dark space alone and it's massive and you're scared and by yourself. But Tobias is just like, hey, you want to be sad?
Hey, even if there is an afterlife, it's going to suck.
Hey, everybody dies and you're going to die and I'm going to die and everyone leaves.
Eternity sucks.
Eternity sucks and it's really scary.
Yeah, it's like in their albums, you go, fuck, man. Like I was seeing a lot of those comments of people just being like, yeah, this is just not the vibe for me. You know, I get that.
And if it is the vibe for you, that's awesome. I don't mean to I don't want to be like mean, like congratulations if this is the vibe for you. But for me, it's a little too sad.
Yeah. And hopefully, the next album picks up. But yeah, I think Satanized is a very interesting record by the band. I don't know, maybe this episode will come out and I'll be like, it's actually a top 3 for me now.
I hope it grows on me because it is a very, very pretty and well thought out album. It just feels kind of hollow.
Yeah, and I love music about like dying alone and shit.
Yeah, of course, everybody does.
Of course, it's classic living room music.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't know. It's just I don't know, but that must be awkward, especially with like you have so many Ghost fans.
Oh my god, I was outside talking to people like, yeah, I can't wait to play it for you guys. And in my brain, I'm like, everyone's gonna be so fucking disappointed. I had fun though. Like I did have fun, and I'm really appreciative to everyone who came out and everyone who bought the album. You're so cool. I love you guys, but like I didn't like it, and I was lying that whole time.
And I will say, when I did listen to it, like I did enjoy it the first listen because I was so intrigued by what was going on differently. But now it's like it's just such a hard listen. It had the opposite effect where it had literally the opposite effect of Impera.
Yeah.
Where I didn't like it at first, and then the second listen I'm like, this is fucking awesome. And then the next listen, I'm like, I fucking love this so much. Where this, I listened to it, I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. This is really like such a nice change of pace for the band. And then the second listen, I'm like, Fuck.
I wish I had that experience on the first listen. The first listen, I just remember being disappointed. Like, genuinely, I couldn't even enjoy it because I was so disappointed, because I just wanted it to sound like Satanized. I wanted the rest of the songs to sound like that. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I was genuinely, like, the first time I was listening to it, I could only think about how disappointed I was that it didn't sound like we thought it was going to.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm kind of upset because at the same time, it's like, I really feel like a Metallica fan now with this album, because it's like, fuck, it's going to take up the set list now.
Oh, do you know the meme of like the shell-shocked soldier? That's how I felt staring at my CD player when I first listened to Skeleton. That's how I felt. I was like, I can't believe they just did that. They let me down for the first time ever.
I think it's time for you to really dive into metal now that you hate a Ghost album.
Yay, I'm a real metal fan now.
You're a real metal fan now. Out of curiosity, I don't think we've ever really talked about this, but what are, like, off the top of your head, do you know, like, your 3 favorite records?
Just in general, or
in
like
general
from Ghost? Oh shit.
I know it's Impera.
Oh yeah.
You want me to guess your ranked Ghost albums?
Yeah.
It's Impera, Prequel, Meliora.
Switch Prequel and Impera.
Oh, and
Prequel's my number
Prequel's
one.
your favorite. Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. I don't know, something about it, especially Pro Memoria, especially. That is
Miasma.
I fucking love when they resurrect that Pope's dead ass to have him play saxophone on stage. Like, that song is everything to me, but like, especially like I just don't want to sound like, oh, I hate like all the slow, sad Ghost songs, because that's not true, because Pro Memoria and Life Eternal are my favorite tracks on my favorite Ghost album, and those are very slow and sad. So it's not just, you know, the fact that it's slow and sad, it's just the fact that it felt so empty on Skeleton.
Yeah, and it's so soulful but soulless at the same time, as you were saying.
He's spilling his guts, and I just don't, it doesn't sound, I don't want to say genuine, that sounds too mean, but it just feels so like, is this how people felt when Impera came out and they were like, it sounds so corporate? Like, that's how I feel
now.
Right
You know how Opus fans feel.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure the song Spillways was about this record.
Oh. No, that's mean.
All right, so all right, your 3 favorite albums of all time.
Of all time, Ghost or in general?
In general.
Like any artist?
Any artist. Any artist, band, whatever.
Oh, Jesus.
And you can have the decision if you want a repeat artist or not.
Yeah. The Mission by Styx, their 2017 release. It is so...
What?
It is so fucking good. Genuinely, their 2017 release, The Mission, and their 2021 release, Crash of the Crown, are their 2 best albums. I'm not just saying that because I'm literally in love with Lawrence Gowan. Like, they're fucking so good. I was talking to someone the other day in here, and they were like, yeah, they didn't expect new Styx to be good, because when you think like, oh,
is that the white cover?
Yes, the white cover. When you think like, oh, a classic rock band is putting out new music, you think they're just shelling out, but it is actually genuinely like their 2 top albums for me. And that, I'm saying that as someone with like, who is in the trenches of Styx autism and has been for years. Like, their 2 newest releases are everything. They're supposedly releasing an album in May, but they mentioned it once and then never again, so I'm starting to think it was a collective hallucination. After that would probably actually be Kid A, Radiohead. I love it so much. It's so sad. I don't know if you know what that album is about, but
I don't really know the concepts.
It's basically about like the world's first test tube baby, and he's named Kid A, and that's what that's about. So it's very depressing, but it is so beautifully done. I was actually listening to the first track, Everything in Its Right Place, on loop today. So, oh God, 3. Ooh, 3 is a basic bitch answer.
I was expecting some kind of MCR.
God, yeah, because that's why I think this is gonna be really weird. It's tied. 3
we'll
Cheers.
Just do 4. Let's do your top 4 favorite albums.
The last 2 are tied. It's 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge by My Chemical Romance and Weezer's White Album from 2016. Weezer's White Album is their most underrated release, because again, it's like how I just said, like, oh, classic rock band puts out new music and it usually sucks. New Weezer is not good. Weezer has a very good habit of Rivers Cuomo will put one good song on every new Weezer record, so we know he can write another Blue album and chooses not to. The White album sounds like the Blue and Green album. It is genuinely so good, but it came out in 2016, so no one knows it exists.
That's crazy.
It's
I've
so
never even heard of it.
Please listen to it.
2 Weezer
like,
records.
Genuinely, Weezer's White album is in my top 4.
Interesting.
It
yeah,
is
they
so
did
good.
it. They went a Beatles route.
They did. They really did. It kind of they went like, I don't know how much you know about like pop punk too, but it's kind of like when Panic at the Disco released Pretty Odd. Like they went the Beatles route, and it's incredible.
Do you feel as like a record store owner, like do you feel pressured to know everything?
Yes. Not literally, like whenever anyone is like, oh, have you heard of like so and so band, and I say no, I feel like I fucking dropped a lasagna. Like, like I'm
and
sorry.
you own this store?
I own the store, and I don't know your Blorbo from your bands. I don't know every band that's ever existed. Sorry, but
do you like make a like go out of your way to try to?
I do. When people give me suggestions in here, I will write them down. I have like a list that I'm very, very slowly getting through.
Yeah.
And yeah.
What's one that you didn't like and one that you were surprised by that you liked?
Oh God, I'm trying to remember. One that I didn't like, he was kind of a younger person, and I've heard this album's honestly not good, so like I don't feel that bad for not liking it. A Whole Lot of Red by Playboi Carti.
That's very justified.
Yeah, but actually one that I really did like that I never listened to him before this album came out, and I feel kind of biased because it's a new album, so like and it's so popular, so of course everyone's gonna love it. Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator is genuinely a work of genius, and I love it so much.
Fucking great record.
I think Sticky is gonna be my top song of this year when Spotify Wrapped comes out. It is. I'd never heard any Tyler the Creator before that album came out, and I was like, okay, like this sounds really, really interesting. I saw the previews with like Noid and stuff like that, and I was like, I gotta listen to this. It is so fucking good. Like, where has this been all my life? So of course now I'm gonna deep dive into everything else he's ever released, because like holy fucking shit, that was incredible.
Tyler's pretty good. I really like MF Doom. MF Doom is probably my favorite.
MF Doom is really good. I listened to him because you told me to. I like Food, which I know is a basic bitch answer, but like
it's still kind of an underground record. It's
kind of, yeah.
Like when you talk about the mainstream, it's crazy how many Tyler fans don't know Food.
Yeah.
Or like Mad Villainy, which I think is the greatest rap album ever.
Which I actually haven't listened to. That's
crazy.
It's a top seller in here. I know I need to listen to it, but my list of customer suggestions is really, really long.
A lot of people trash rap, but this guy, MF Doom, studied jazz. He listened to so much music. He samples a Gentle Giant song.
That's crazy.
On one of the tracks. And I remember hearing the album for the first time, like, what? That's a like a prog album, that a lot of people...
But I feel like rap in general, people just kind of lump it in with like, oh, it's rap and country, the two genres people don't like. But I feel like it's because they're kind of biased. And like, you don't have to study jazz to make a good rap song. I just feel like people don't get a lot of exposure to it, especially like white people. We don't get a lot of exposure to rap music, so like of course
the closest we get is like Limp Bizkit.
Oh god, I like Limp Bizkit though. I genuinely like Limp Bizkit because they're fun. No one gets it. They're fun, but like I didn't have a lot of exposure to music like that growing up because my mom listened to like John Denver and my dad listened to like the Dead Kennedys because they're the two whitest people on earth. But
very different.
Yeah, very different flavors of white people, but still.
Yeah.
And so like when I started dating my current partner and he's like, you should really get more into this. It's like it's like a whole world has been opened up to me. Genuinely, it's really, really nice. And that's why I like when people tell me to listen to things I don't know, because I'm probably going to love it. Like, I forget if it was you or our friend Juan who told me to listen to Coven. I'm like,
that was Juan.
I'm in love with
that
them.
was me.
That was you. Yeah.
It was me, but Juan told me about it forever ago.
I'm in love with Jinx Dawson now, and I really regret not going with you when you went to see them.
I'm like, she's probably going to die next week. I'm like, we need to see them.
She's so cute. I love how she ends every Instagram post with many hails. I think that's adorable.
Jinx is fucking awesome. Like, honestly, like that album, that like Coven record with like Wicked Woman and Black Sabbath is so great. And it came out in 1969.
Yeah.
you know?
So advanced, honestly.
Such an amazing album. And then the B-side is a satanic ritual.
I want the poster.
Yeah.
So bad. You have no idea.
Where she's laid out.
She's nude. Like, I need that fucking poster.
I bought the record from Juan for $100.
Yeah, and I'm mad because I asked him, like, hey, do you want to trade for the super rare David Bowie Man Who Sold the World legit pressing that I have on the wall? And he was like, oh, I sold it to Brandon. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, because I'm like Juan, because he's like, I'll only do cash. And I'm like, I'm kind of low on money, but I'm like, when the fuck am I ever gonna? And it was like mint.
Oh, I'm
and
so mad at you.
You open up and there's the gatefold of her laying on the altar. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Even though it's really a one side of music.
Still, I mean, if you're having a first date, you really want to set the mood, put on side 2.
Yeah, or do what Juan did and put on REM.
Oh my fucking god, no!
Like, who the fuck puts that on? All right, sorry, Juan, if you're listening.
Trying to get freaky to REM is fucking crazy.
It was the end of her world.
No, it's like when I first got with my partner, we started dating. He was like, "Oh, because I have a girlfriend now. Do I have to stop listening to Radiohead?" And I was like, "Yeah, you have to throw out all your records."
As a record store, what's the biggest grail that's walked in?
Oh fuck! Right now, probably the $600 self-released Bob Dylan demos that I have up there, single-sided. It's not even. It's playable. It plays all the way through, but it's like really scuffed up. But it's still $600. Either that or like my personal favorite at the moment that. A lot of the Grail stuff I brought in from my personal collection, but if I'm picking one that someone else brought in, it's the Katamari Damacy soundtrack, because the Katamari games are really underrated. I love them. I love watching Germa play them, and it's like 4 different color swirl vinyls. Like one disc is 2 colors, and the second disc is 2 colors. It's really fucking cool. I got a lot of like Japanese game soundtracks in here from that person. So
that's awesome, and you have a lot of cool soundtracks, and you have some more soundtracks too. Well, you know, it's been fucking awesome talking, and it feels like we're back at the record store.
Oh god,
just
yapping the yap
about, you know, our issues with bands and albums and, you know, politics about certain fucking members.
Jesus fuck.
Yeah, so you know, I want to give you the floor of like, I feel like we've promoted the shop, but if there's anything specifically.
Yeah, let's go. So starting May 30th, we're doing a thing, not here, but right down the street, because I tried to do live music here and then the fire department was like, don't you ever fucking do that again, I swear to God. So we're renting out a venue the last Friday of every month starting May 30th, and we're doing basically like a hardcore show every month, and it's called Final Fridays. Doors at 6, admission $10. There's a cash bar, but it's all ages. We have the lineup for May. We have the lineup for June, and there's going to be vendors. It's going to be really, really cool. Please come support local music if you're in the area.
Any local hardcore bands
that
you're into?
Yes, there's a band called Brace for Impact MA, fronted by one of my best friends. Her name is Ari. They have a song where they sample Over the Garden Wall. They're everything to me. I love them. I love her. Please,
holy shit.
please support small queer hardcore artists like Brace for Impact MA. Like specifically, there's MA at the end because there's already 700 bands called Brace for Impact. They're so fun. I love them. Please listen to them.
Yeah, so, you know, I totally forgot about this whole arc of, like, you being a promoter.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So how did that even happen? Like, when, like, you're like, you know what, fuck it, let's just do a fucking hardcore show in the store.
Well, I made friends with someone like a year ago almost. Her name's Sam, and her whole job, her Instagram is Sam B Books. There's underscores in between those. Go look her up. She's really cool. But she basically books bands. Like, that's her side hustle. And we were talking, and people kept saying, like, coming in here, like, I want to play music in your store. And eventually I was like, you know what? That might actually be really fun. So we got a lineup. We made the flyer. We cleared out all the furniture, and we crammed maybe 40 people in here and some bands that are still, I have the flyer up on the wall over there. And it's funny because, like, one of the bands that was on that flyer disbanded immediately after we did this.
Holy shit, their last show.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's fucking crazy. But like, so that's
well,
sort of,
sucks, though.
I started like booking more bands, and I wanted to be really like proper and get an event license and whatever. And then I learned the town of Bellingham doesn't like it when people do fun stuff a lot of the time. So I went and I asked, like, what's my maximum capacity? And they were like 13 people, which is probably wrong because I asked the tattoo studio next door, Ghost Town, like, what's your maximum capacity? And they were like, they won't even tell us. So I think they just made it up because they didn't want me doing hardcore shows here anymore. But then I was really lucky because the owner of the Bellingham Sportsman Club is actually really, really good friends with my stepdad. And he was like, hey, like, we'll give you a little discount if you want to rent our venue. And it's massive. So we're literally, every show is going to be like 4 bands, 6 vendors. Sick. So yeah, indie artists, indie music, hardcore, please come. It's going to be fun.
The Crystal Ball Grand Slam.
No, literally.
What the fuck's up, Crystal Ball?
What the fuck is up, Crystal Ball?
That's fucking awesome. Well, I'm really happy to see the store's going well. The event was awesome. You know, giving a space for, you know, hardcore bands and just like the local scene is just
because the local scene is fucking dying. All the good venues are getting shut down.
They're all dunks now.
Yeah,
you know?
It's fucking abysmal. So like, I would give anything to support the cause. So please come to Final Fridays. It's going to be really fun.
Hell yeah.
There's my Instagram, Crystal Ball Records. One of the pin posts at the top is actually all about it. So.
Awesome. And I'll link all the, you know, socials in the description of the podcast. So fucking awesome.
Thank you. It was so nice to get up.
We'll probably do something in the future.
Oh God, of course. Yeah.
And yeah, this is such an awesome store. We're here in Crystal Ball right now. Did we say that?
I think we did.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
you know?
The back wall's looking pretty blank because a lot of the stuff sold off of it, but I promise the rest of the store is really well decorated.
Yeah, just such an awesome interior, and totally, you know, give them a follow on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, literally every social media, Tumblr even, every single social media, it's just Crystal Ball Records, like all one word.
And the podcast.
Yes. I'm starting a podcast called Future Sounds with Crystal Ball Records, or from Crystal Ball Records, sorry. I always get that confused. Like, it's my fucking podcast. But I just recorded an hour-long episode about Styx fan fiction with 2 girls in Ottawa who are just as insane as I am. They're my best friends. Please give it a listen. I posted episode 0.5 today, which is just me answering listener questions. But I promise the Caught in the Act, Kilroy Was Here, Fanfiction Event Horizon episode is coming out like next week. So
nice, and that's awesome. And I'd love to be on and introduce you to like bands like Candlemass.
Yes, I would love to do like live
Pentagram.
reaction. Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be the amount of shit I would love to show. Like the traditional doom metal, I would love to show you. But this has been great. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
I'm Brandon Battick, and this has been Disturbing the Priest.
It's death! I've just seen death!